So the tadpole in this photo, it's me when I was a baby.
Once, while I was wandering along the seaside, I suddenly heard the sound of crying coming from the water. I was startled and rushed to the shore, but there was no one there. For a brief moment, I wondered if the place was haunted. Just as I was thinking this, the crying sounded again. This time I saw it clearly. There were several fish huddled together, holding their heads and crying bitterly. This was truly strange. It was, in fact, the first time I had ever seen fish cry. Unable to resist my curiosity, I asked them, "Gentlemen, why are you so sad?" One large shark opened its mouth, and to my great surprise, spoke in perfectly proper human language.
Sir, thank you very much for your concern.
I thought to myself, oh, this shark is quite the gentleman, so polite.
Well, sir, we were overcome with sorrow when we realized that our lives will soon come to an end. We cannot help but weep. If our crying disturbed your walk, we sincerely apologize.
Not at all, not at all. I replied quickly. I was utterly astonished by the shark's refined manner of speech. You said that you fish will soon perish. What exactly do you mean? I asked with concern.
Kind sir, a few days ago during the Sea Emperor's afternoon nap, a foolish whale swam past and with an unfortunate turn slapped him square across the face with his massive tail.
This caused a terrible disaster. Half of the Sea Emperor's face swelled up like a loaf of bread. Worse still, he lost all dignity in front of everyone. Enraged, the Sea Emperors issued an order. All aquatic creatures and tails were to be executed. The sentence was to be carried out within 7 days.
Sir, that is why we are crying here. Hearing this, I suddenly understood everything. I couldn't help but feel sympathy for this gentlemanly shark. Alas, I said, how pitiful you are. I never imagined that the world of fish could be just as unfair as the human world. Truly, when one prospers, all prosper. When one falls, all fall. Thinking of this, I too felt a sense of sorrow, like a fox mourning the death of a rabbit. Upon hearing my words, the fish became even more grief-stricken and burst into loud sobs again. Among them, one cry was especially heartbreaking. I followed the sound and was shocked to see a large toad crying even harder than all the fish. Wailing to the heavens, unable to contain my curiosity, I asked him, "Toad, my friend, you are different from these fish. You don't even have a tail and you're not on the execution list. Why are you crying harder than anyone else?" The toad raised his head and said politely,
So you don't understand, look at this and you'll know.
He handed me a photograph. I looked at it and shook my head still, confused. The toad explained,
So the tadpole in this photo, it's me when I was a baby, don't you see? Sir, I may not have a tail now, but I had one when I was young. If the Sea Emperor decides to investigate my childhood photo, I'll be doomed as well.
God, your story is hilarious. Totally ridiculous.
well, what did you learn from this story? Told it specifically for your social experiment.
The lesson is not to worry too much about the future, but to enjoy today, drink today's wine today. Don't you think so, Dad?
I think the lesson for you is this: you'd better cause me less trouble. Otherwise, every little thing you've done, the embarrassing things from when you were a baby, I have them all documented. If you don't want me to reveal them, you better behave yourself.
Oh.
Well, not again.
Hid treasures.